Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to learn about Dockers. So what is a Docker actually? See, it is a text-based document that's used to create a container images. So what is a text-based document kind of thing? It is a Docker. What does it do? That is used to create the container images. First of all, why do we need to create a container image? In order to deploy the project into the Docker, we need to create a container image. So what does it do? It provides instructions to the image builder on the commands to run, files to copy, startup command, and more. What is this image builder? Image builder is basically comes into which basically comes into the picture when images are built for first Docker as well as basic images are built for the project. So in these two cases, image builders come into the picture. So what image builders have to do, they have to run certain commands. So how to run the commands are the instructions provided by the Docker to the image builder. So it has to even copy some files sometime. So what files it has to copy? So such kind of instructions are given by this particular Docker. In the next, this gives the clear picture what is happening. Okay, so what's happening is from Ubuntu latest means let us say Ubuntu is a particular VM we have or yeah okay let us check the VM we have in that work directory in that app folder run apt install cmd we used to run whatever the command. Let us say this is a normal text file. This is a text file, right? What does it do? It creates a Docker image. It was getting converted into a Docker image. Later, after this Docker image was generated, then it gets converted into a Docker container. Okay. Then key components of this particular Docker file. What are the key components we have here? First one, the base image. This is the base image. Next, the application code dependencies as well as commands and configurations. What does base image do? It is like an entry point for something. For KL University, we used to have the entry point as two gates, exit point as other two gates. So means back end gates we have right towards the back side, towards the hostel we used to have a gate right. That will act as a exit gate, and the gates at the entrance will act as a entry gates. So base image is something like a starting point for our Docker image. Okay. Oh, so what does it do? It just provides a starting point for the image creation so that we can give any name. For suppose there's a Python application, so we can start with Python 3.9. So even Python 3.9 is not the only one. We can give any base image name. Okay. Then application code independence is what does this do? So the code is added to the image. What is image? As I've told earlier, it is a particular collection of applications code as well as some libraries. So even this code is also added to the same image, and then the dependencies are installed to ensure the application runs correctly. If dependencies are not installed, the application which is running on Windows operating system cannot be run on Linux operating system. Or if you are trying to run a Mac operating system project, the same cannot be able to run on Windows because the configurations has to change, the dependencies has to be changed. So for that purpose, we are trying to install the dependencies and ensure that the particular application runs correctly on the OS. Then the commands and instructions. Obviously, we are the set of environment variables as we have said earlier, like Java, JDK, home, Maven, home, Node.js, home. In a similar way, we used to set some environment variables, and even the instructions were given to execute command. What commands have to be executed. Then the syntaxes. So basically, we used to have from, copy, run, and CMD. These are something case sensitive. They have to be written only in uppercase. And each instruction creates a new layer in the Docker image. So Docker image consists of layers of codes. Now let us say Each instruction creates new layer in the sense Docker image has many layers in it. Then what does from do? This particular thing specifies base image from your build. Basically, a Docker file must start. It is not should, it is must. Means it is mandatory to start with from. Means like letter in a letter to HOD or letter to principal, what do we write first? From address. So from where it is trying to fetch, that should be specified. Then copy. So to where it should be copied, like from the host system into the container. Then run, where what has to be run. Executes commands during the build process. Then what does CMD do? CMD is default command to run when the container starts. So container will start, but the image will be generated later. Okay. So next work dir means it sets the working directory inside the container. Inside the container, the working directory has to be set, not outside the container. Okay. And then we used to have this expose. What is this expose? Documents the port the container listens on. Means expose in the sense when one port was given to a container, whatever the inputs are coming from that particular port, the container has to be able to take those inputs. For the taking inputs, we use this expose. Then this is a sample code. These are some sample commands that we have to run in the VS Code. And what is a multi-stage Docker file? There are two stages in the multi-stage Docker files. So what is meant by multi-stage Docker file? First of all, this allows us to create lean production images by separating the build and runtime environments. If you observe in the single stage Docker file, means in a sample, in a normal Docker file, we used to have a base image, application code, and dependencies. If you observe, everything is happening in these three, even running also. But in the multi-stage Docker image, what happens is the build and run and runtime environments. Build and runtime environments have to be separated so that it is something like parallel processing first. So that we have two stages, builder and development stage, builder or development stage, both are same. Next one is the production stage. Obviously, you can guess what happens in the builder and development stage. We install the dependencies, compile the code, build the application. So half the task is completed. Then production stage means we used to copy only the necessary files from the build. Okay. Next we have distroless images. What is this distroless images? These are minimalistic and purpose built, containing only the essential components. Means in the multi-stage Docker file, what are the only necessary files we have copied? Na? They will be like minimal in number, as well as they have some particular purpose for that, so that only the essential components to run an application. So those particular only necessary files are the essential components to run this application. So only those will be copied, so that storage will be decreased. So this approach significantly reduces the attack surface and minimizes the image size. Or else if you create an image, it becomes 1.1 GB, 1.5 GB sometimes. So I'll show you, I'll slowly show you. And enhance in security and efficiency. How does this enhance security and efficiency? We'll discuss in the upcoming parts of the videos. Next, smaller image size. So destroless images basically exclude unnecessary components, resulting in smaller images. This is already um, okay. Let's remove this. Next, enhance security. What does it does? Just minimizing the attack surface means that all unnecessary files, extra files are removed. What does it do? Even if the security threat occurs, obviously it will manage to take care of the particular necessary files. This is a normal sample code that we have as a Docker file. So virtualization, first we need to learn about the virtualization. Basically, if we are wanting to run multiple applications on a single OS, On the same OS, we are trying to run Linux files, Mac OS related files, everything. So, like, let us take an example of a virtual machine. We all used to have Oracle VM. In the Oracle VM, if you observe, we used to run, means for Linux administration and automation course, we used to have Oracle VM for that, like virtual machine. So this virtual machine is something helping for the virtualization. Basically, what does it do is our core operating system is Windows. But if you observe carefully, CentOS is another kind of OS that is running on our Windows OS. Means we are virtually creating an operating system and running some kind of files. This makes our project runnable in all kind of applications as well as operating systems. So this is basically a technology that is used to run these particular applications, multiple number of same or different operating systems which are completely isolated from each other. Means if you observe, in the same virtual machine, we can have Kali Linux. In the same virtual machine, we can run normal Linux. In the same virtual machine, even we can install Mac OS. So in the same virtual machine, we are trying to do different operating system tasks. So that is nothing but virtualization. And the next one is hypervisor. What is this hypervisor? See, hypervisor is something, a mediator between the operating system and the guest operating systems, means the virtual OSs which are created. So a hyper OS is a software or a firmware that allows multiple OS to run simultaneously on a single physical machine by virtualizing the machine. So this takes extra storage. So basically, this is the hypervisor is basically used for this purpose of virtualizing the operating system and allowing the multiple operating systems to run simultaneously with our core operating system. Then what is containerization? See, containerization is this is a software deployment process. In this software deployment process, what do we do means we create images. Like we call bundles, means it bundles applications code with all the files and libraries. For suppose we have a React app. In the React app, what do we have? SRC folder. If it is only front end means we have SRC folder and package.json files and other configuration files. If it is a backend, we have pom.xml, src slash main, src slash java. So there are other kinds of folders. What does this containerization means? Means you have to make all those things as bundles. Like image is nothing but a particular a bundle which consists all the files. Image is not, I mean, here the term image tells that image is something like bundle of files, collection of files, that kind of thing. Basically, image is not the normal JPG or PNG file we have. Image is basically the collection of or bundle of this particular files and libraries. If you go with the React app, we used to have a React Router DOM, that library, Axios library, etc. We have many libraries. So these libraries, they are needed to run on any kind of infrastructure, means any kind of operating system. What happens is this containerization helps us to bundle those all files into a package. We basically here call it as image. Now coming to Dockers. See, this is again a containerization platform. This is not a container. This is a platform that performs containerization operation. So basically, that provides an easy way to containerize your applications. Means using Dockers, we can build container images. So here, what are the images? The bundles of application code as well as other files and libraries. So we used to run the images, and I mean, we used to run the images to create these containers. And we also push these containers to the registers. What are these registers? Registers are obviously known for you since the first year. They used to carry the data from particular one particular place to other particular place. They are like data storage hubs. So, such as Docker Hub. QAIO, and so on. There are many containers. So Dockers, what do they do? They used to containerize by building the images, running images to create the separate containers, and pushing these containers to registers. That's it. What is Docker lifecycle? Basically, in Docker lifecycle, we used to have three commands mandatorily that every experiment we used to use them. The creation means the building. And the next one, running, means Docker run. And next we used to have Docker push. Push in the sense it basically pushes the container images to registers which are public or private, so that they can be shared as Docker images to the registers. So that when they are shared, they can be accessible to the operating system, so that operating system can access them and run them properly. So building, running, and pushing. These are the three common steps that every experiment we used to follow.
మునగ చెట్లు తుమ్మ చెట్లు జిల్లేడి చెట్లున్నాయి అవసరానికి అరసెయ్యంత ఆకు దొరకదు రోయ్ నా సెంబు దొబ్బిసి నోడి ముడికిములు శంకర వాళ్ళ రోయ్ చెరుగట్టి కలిపని కానిద్దామంటే గుంటలున్నారు రోయ్ నన్ను చూసి నవ్విపోయి వాళ్ళే గాని చెంబు నిలిచే వాళ్ళే లేరే అరుగు మీద అండలమ్మ ఎరుసుతుంది తోలగుండలాకలే దిక్కే సీసీ.
Hello guys. First ensure that Docker hub in the website, this particular website, Docker desktop, and your VS Code are ready. So first of all, what we need to do is just delete skill 7 and skill 8. నేను డిలీట్ చేయాలి, మీరు అక్కర్లేదులేండి. సో మీరు చేయాల్సింది ఏంటంటే just create a new folder S7. In that, another new folder, give the name as pro. So what do you do? Basically, we have to create an HTML file. So just copy the code, come here and open VS Code. తర్వాత VS Code ఓపెన్ చేశాక మీరు చేయాల్సింది ఏంటి అంటే జస్ట్ index.html అని బట్టి ఇది పెట్టండి. సో వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ హియర్ ఇస్ ఇది ఒక ఫైల్ ఉంటుంది ఇక్కడ. సో నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ ఇస్ డాకర్ ఫైల్ ఒకటి క్రియేట్ చేయి. సో జస్ట్ గో విత్ DOCKERFILE డాకర్ ఫైల్. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు క్రియేట్ దిస్. నౌ docker build -t first. So just open the terminal, new terminal, remove this cmd. So just run. First అని ఉంది కదా, give this as skill 7. So the image is built successfully. So then run it. 808180 and the skill 7. So just run. Then what we have to do, ఈ పర్టికులర్ లోకల్ హోస్ట్ ని మన బ్రౌజర్ లో ఓపెన్ చేసి ఎంటర్ కొడితే హెలో ఫ్రమ్ డాకర్ అని ఒకటి వస్తుంది. టేక్ ఎ స్క్రీన్ షాట్ ఫర్ ఇట్. దిస్ ఈస్ skill 7. This is skill 7. So you can find skill 7. It was created. Now it is running also. So you can stop it by stopping this. సో ఇక్కడ మీరు ఆపేసి ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి రీఫ్రెష్ చేశారంటే ఏముండదు, ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ వర్క్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ డాకర్. మళ్ళీ రన్ చేసి ఇఫ్ యూ గో టు దట్ పోర్ట్ యూ కెన్ గెట్ దిస్. So now what we need to do, we can stop it, right? We do not have the need to run that. So we are stopping it. So 3.3 MB added and out of 7.42 GB. Now, next, what is the skill 8? Skill 8, here we used to have a base image, applications code and commands. ఇవన్నీ మీకు ముందే చెప్పేశాను. టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ డాకర్ ఫైల్స్ లో సింగిల్ అంటే స్టాటిక్ డిప్లాయ్మెంట్. బేసిక్ గా ఎవ్రీథింగ్ హ్యాపెన్స్ ఇన్ సింగిల్ స్టేజ్. మల్టీ స్టేజ్ అంటే దేర్ ఈస్ సెగ్రిగేషన్ ఫర్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ ఆపరేషన్ బీయింగ్ పర్ఫార్మ్డ్ ఆన్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్. సో ఇట్ సపోర్ట్స్ డైనమిక్ డిప్లాయ్మెంట్ అంతే. సో ఇది మన స్కిల్ 7. సో ఇది ప్రోలో ఉంది. సో నౌ కమ్ బ్యాక్ just take skill 8. Yes, 8. Here give S8 as the folder name. In that folder, close this particular VS Code. It is VS Code. Just close it. So now open another VS Code in the skill 8 file path. So now what do? We used to go for the terminal. Just close it. Type CMD. In the CMD, what do we have to do is we used to go with this. npm create wait at the rate latest docx. Just run it. It will create a package of wait plus react plus wait kind of app is created. So cd docx npm install. Oh, sorry. Yeah, npm install. npm installs all the necessary packages for this. So here we are performing first initially the single stage operation. So as there are these npm packages like node modules, this one, this node modules, there are many files, right? So because of these files, we used to have a lot of storage occupancy. Okay. So next, what do? We just go with npm and so just verify whether it is running or not. Like I have to do, you need not to perform these things. So just wait a minute, they are deleting, right? So we have to wait for some time. So meanwhile, let us go with this. So we have completed the creating the React application. Next, we have to log in into the docker. So just terminate this running and go with this. So my username is specified here. So it detected the Docker as well as it logged in also. Next, what I have to do, we are going to do with the single stage. In a single stage, what happens means we used to create a Docker file where we can create in the dockerx folder, docker, a file. D can be capital also. It will work. You need not get worried about it. So next, what we used to do, we used to create an image. Docker build hyphen T, my dockerx. Okay. So just think that my dockerx is the particular skill 8. Okay. My dockerx is nothing but skill 8. My task for you is try to create with the name skill 8. Okay. Like instead of my dockerx, type skill 8. So I am creating with my dockerx only. So just I will build the image. Then what I have to do, I have to run the image. So take this command. Be ready until that the build is completed. Yes, exporting అయిపోయింది. Now run it. So it is running. In 5713 port, it is running. So first, let me list the images what I have. Sorry. Yeah. So these are the images I have. The newest one will be viewed first. So you can see 1.37 GB. This is the single stage, so it takes more amount of large memory. Now what I have to do? Here I have to change it to my repository name and I need not to change anything. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, so to which repository we are wanting to move? To which repository we are wanting to move? So first create a repository. This you have to do. This you have to do. Go like skill 8. So skill 8 is the repository. Short description ఏం లేదు. ఏదైనా ఇచ్చుకోండి. నేను ఏం లేదని ఇస్తున్నాను description. సో ఇది ఓకే. సో ఇక్కడ శ్రీధర్ 1, 2, 3 ప్లేయర్స్ లో కాకర్ల పవన్ షణ్ముఖ్ రావాలి. మైడాకరెక్స్ ట్యాగ్ అదే ఉంచుదాం. కాకర్ల పవన్ షణ్ముఖ్ ఒకటి వస్తే చాలు కాబట్టి కాకర్ల పవన్ షణ్ముఖ్ పెడితే సరిపోతుంది. యూ నీడ్ నాట్ చేంజ్ ఎనీథింగ్. ఎంటర్. నౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ వర్కింగ్. నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ? పుష్ చేయాలి. For pushing also, what is the only change you have? Just change the username. Username. Oh my god. Shit. Kakarla bounce. Look at. You can see one argument is enough అని వచ్చింది. ఎందుకు? యా 2 సార్లు పెట్టాం కాకర్ల bounce. I mean డాకర్ పుష్ అనేది 2 సార్లు వచ్చింది. అంతకుమించి ఏం లేదు. Now you can see it is being pushed into the particular docker container. Okay. And a repository, whatever you have in your mind, అది పుష్ అవుతోంది. సో లెట్ us వెయిట్ ఫర్ సమ్ టైమ్. ఓకే. ఇక్కడ మీకు జీబీల్లో వస్తుందండి బికాస్ దిస్ ఇస్ సింగిల్ స్టేజ్. యూ నీడ్ నాట్ గెట్ వరీడ్ అబౌట్ దిస్. ఓకే. లెట్ us వెయిట్. లెట్ us వెయిట్. ట్రాన్సిషన్ వేసుకోవచ్చు 2000 ఇయర్స్ లేటర్. ఓకే. కమాన్. ఏమైంది? ఎస్, సక్సెస్ఫుల్లీ, ఫైనల్లీ it is completed. So where to verify that whether it is completed or not? రిఫ్రెష్ చేస్తే ట్యాగ్స్ లో నథింగ్. ఎక్కడేం రాదు, మన ఎక్కడికేం తగిలే. ఇయర్ మై డాకర్ ఎక్స్. ఎస్, ఇట్ ఈస్ కమ్. సో ఇది 5173 పోర్ట్ లో. ఈ పోర్ట్ వేరు, ఈ పోర్ట్ వేరు. దిస్ ఇస్ లోకల్ హోస్ట్ 5173. దిస్ ఇస్ లోకల్ హోస్ట్ 8081. చాలా తేడా. సో ఇప్పుడు నేనేం చేస్తానంటే మీకు సరదాగా ఒకటి చూపిస్తే ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది. మోస్ట్లీ ఎర్రరే వస్తుంది. బట్ ఇప్పుడు మీకు చూపించాలి కాబట్టి చూపిస్తాను. సో ఇట్ కమ్స్ ఎర్రర్ వై వీఆర్ నాట్ రన్నింగ్ ఎనీ అప్లికేషన్. రియాక్ట్ లో మనం ఏం రన్ చేయకుండా అక్కడ ఎల్లు ప్రింట్ చేస్తే ఏం వస్తుంది? నథింగ్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ స్టేజ్ 1, మీన్ సింగిల్ స్టేజ్ 1. నౌ వీ యూస్ టు గో విత్ మల్టీ స్టేజ్. మల్టీ స్టేజ్ లో ఏంటంటే జస్ట్ డాకర్ ఫైల్ మారుతుంది. Here what we do, we take only the necessary amount of files. Necessary number of files are selected. Unnecessary files are not selected. ఏదో బూతు తీసేయండి, దీన్ని మెయిన్ లోంచి తీసేయండి. ఓకే. ఓన్లీ నెసరీ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ ఫైల్స్ ఆర్ సెలెక్టెడ్. నౌ అగైన్ ద సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్. ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేయాలి? వీ హ్యావ్ టు లాగౌట్ అండ్ లాగిన్. సో లాగౌట్, రిమూవింగ్ లాగిన్ క్రెడెన్షియల్స్ ఫర్ డాకర్ ఐఓ. అది రిమూవ్ అవుతుంది. యూ నీడ్ నాట్ గెట్ వరీడ్. తర్వాత లాగిన్. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ లాగిన్ అవ్వాలి. వై టు డూ దట్? సమ్ టైమ్స్ డాకర్ బిహేవ్స్ లైక్ జిగిరిజింగ్ అని. సో ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ వర్క్ ప్రాపర్లీ. దట్స్ వై వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ నా, బెటర్ లాగౌట్ అండ్ లాగిన్. యూ విల్ గెట్ ద ప్రాపర్ అవుట్. ఓకే. సో నెక్స్ట్ what we have to do, we have to build the image. So మనం ఏం చేద్దామంటే సేమ్ ఇమేజ్ ఇద్దాం. బిల్డ్. అగైన్ వీఆర్ బిల్డింగ్ ద సేమ్ నేమ్ ఇమేజ్. ఓకే. సక్సెస్ఫుల్లీ బిల్ట్. నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ? బిల్డింగ్ అయిపోయింది, రన్ చేయాలి. రన్ ఇట్. ఎస్, ఇట్ ఈస్ రన్నింగ్. నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ? Images. Let us check whether the image is created or not. Yes, Kakarla Pawan Shanmukh, my Docker X, latest image, 6 minutes ago. సో యూ కెన్ సీ ఇక్కడ కాకర్ల పవన్ శర్మకు ట్యాగ్ వేసాం కాబట్టి ఇది వచ్చింది. లేకపోతే ఏముంటుంది, మై డాకర్ ఎక్సే ఉంటుంది. ఇదంటే ఓకే. సో యాజ్ ఆఫ్ నౌ మై డాకర్ ఎక్స్ అనేది మళ్ళీ ఉంచాం కాబట్టి, అది అలాగే ఉంచాం కాబట్టి, నేమే మార్చలేదు కాబట్టి ఇట్ ఈస్ వర్కింగ్. నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేసాం మనం? ఓ తమ్ముడు, తమ్ముడు, ట్యాగింగ్ ద ఫైల్. సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్, కాకపోతే ఇక్కడ వాట్ డు వి డూ ఇస్ మల్టీ అని పెడదాం. పుష్ చేస్తాం. లెట్ us build this as the image. Okay, so this is the image. My docker x multi stage కింద. Okay, so run this. What do? We just run this. Running. Next, push. Sorry, let's the images. Let us check whether it is working or whether it is existing or created or not. Yes, my docker x multi 30 hours ago. ఓకే. మేబీ అంటే ఆల్రెడీ చేసున్నాం. మళ్ళీ చేస్తున్నాం గాబట్టి అది అలా వచ్చుండొచ్చు. ఇక్కడ ఏం చేయాలి మళ్ళీ? వి హావ్ టు చేంజ్ ద నేమ్. దేనికి చేంజ్ చేయాలి? కాకర్ల పవన్ షణ్ముఖ్‌కి చేంజ్ చేయాలి. సో జస్ట్ వాట్ డు వి డు? డింగ్ 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 డింగ్. ఎంటర్. సక్సెస్‌ఫుల్లీ ఎంటర్డ్. నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేయాలండి? డాకర్ పుష్. పుష్ప 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 పుష్పరాజ్. ఎవ తగ్గేదేలే. ఓ బాబు వదిలే వదిలే. ఇప్పుడు పుష్ప కూడా వద్దు కానీ డింగ్ 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 డింగ్. సో వీఆర్ పుషింగ్ ఇట్. నౌ అగైన్ the pushing operation will be happening. So I will show you the difference between single stage and multi-stage. Why not single stage? Why only multi-stage? Because we are using only the necessary files. Multi-stage is the best option. So where to verify? You can see here. It is running now. So just go. You can see this particular application running properly. So ఇప్పుడు what we have done is we have deployed the React project into the Docker. Through Docker we have deployed it. మళ్ళీ 5173 Docker X మీద చూస్తే ఇదేం రాదు, because it is not having anything. So these two are running. So that is about skill 7 and skill 8. సో మీరు ప్రూఫ్ కింద కావాలనుకున్నట్లయితే మా టెలిగ్రామ్ గ్రూప్లో మేము చేసే కహాని ఇదే. ఏది? సారీ, చూడండి, అందరూ డిప్లాయ్ చేయడం, స్క్రీన్ షాట్లు పెట్టడం, అంతే. సో వాట్ ఆర్ డిప్లాయింగ్? దిస్ ఓన్లీ. అంతకు మించి ఏమీ లేదు. ఓన్లీ దిస్ ఇస్ ద వన్ వీఆర్ డిప్లాయింగ్.
హాయ్, నా పెర్ఫార్మెన్స్ మీకు నచ్చినట్టయితే స్మాల్ బాస్ అని స్పేస్ ఇచ్చి పద్మశ్రీ PADMASRI అని టైప్ చేసి 55555కి SMS చేయండి.